Welcome to the Famous for Nothing podcast. This is actually a Gamecast episode again, and we're doing Kingdom Hearts, the first part of Chain of Memories. We're going to try to make this in 2 parts, and let's just go over what you remember of Kingdom Hearts last.
Okay. Hope I'm not too loud. I remember that it was a mixture of Disney and Square Enix, and there were kids on an island. I don't know if it starts off with a dream or if it starts off regular and then goes into the fucked up part. But
sorry, I did the cancer.
I know.
Okay, we don't have to go through the whole game. Just I'm just refreshing. Like, okay, Sora, Riku, Kairi.
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember at the end of the game? Like where
I know
it left off
that
at?
Sora dies. Did he put the keyblade on him?
Yeah, he sacrificed himself at one point, and he sacrificed himself to let his heart free to all the so he can get Kairi and come back to life.
Yeah. All the princesses were free. I don't remember the very end. I remember you showing me a video about Mickey, like fighting off in like a city that was raining.
No, okay, so it wasn't Mickey, but it was 2 people that I didn't tell you who they were, but it was pretty badass. Yeah.
It was like for Kingdom Hearts 2 or something?
It is for a future game, yes. The ending of Kingdom Hearts 1 is they fought Ansem, and after they fought Ansem, the door of Kingdom Hearts was there.
Oh, yeah.
And Ansem were saying, like, this is, like, darkness inside Kingdom Hearts. And Sora was like, no, this is... Kingdom Hearts is light. It opened up, all the light took over Ansem, and he died from it. And they had to shut the door, but it had to be 2 people to shut the door.
Yeah.
And someone had to be on the inside and someone had to be on the outside. And Sora, Donald, and Goofy went to go close the door, and they couldn't do it. And then Riku came in from inside and helped him push it from the inside.
That's right.
To stay inside. And then all these dark sides. You remember who Darkseid is? It's that giant creature.
Yeah, from the very beginning.
Yeah. So there was like just a ton of dark sides all over the place. And it was just, it was overwhelmed. Even all them together, it'd been hard for them to beat it. But then you just saw Darkseid like getting beat, like just disappearing, like doon, 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 doon. And then you saw it was Mickey. Mickey came in like a badass, comes in, gets his golden keyblade.
That's right.
And he's like, Sora, let's close this door for good, because it had to be locked from the inside and the outside.
Yep.
So they both locked the door, and Riku got stuck inside of the darkness, basically, where the Kingdom Hearts is. He got stuck in there, and right before he left, he said, take care of Kairi. And then they shut the door, and after that, the door disappeared, and don't know what happened with Riku and Kairi. I mean, not Riku and Kairi. Riku and Mickey, and then Sora, Donald, and Goofy was just left on a long trail. The door was gone, and then it was just a road of nothingness, basically. And then at some point, you saw them at the green field, and Pluto had a thing in his mouth. They found Pluto, the dog, and he had like a envelope with a king's symbol on it. And they went to go chase him over the green hill, and that was like the ending of that.
Like the credits roll and stuff.
Yeah. And to me, the best part was whenever you see Kairi and see what she's doing now, and she's back on the island, and then she finally finds that cave where everyone's been drawing on, and she remembers Sora was like carving.
I know that you got emotional during that.
Because like they used to draw together as kids on that rock, and then Kairi didn't know that he gave her a papu fruit at some point, and she saw that.
Goosebumps here in a minute.
Yeah, so Kairi carved a papu fruit back to him, and of course the papu fruit means you'd be together forever. They never actually got the split one, but they carved it together. It was real nice, emotional, and she was crying.
It is.
And everything.
You showed me it was awesome.
So now we're starting off on a Chain of Memories. Okay, so this is what I'm doing on Chain of Memories, and people who are Kingdom Hearts fans, you might get a little upset with me, but it's okay, because if I did it the full way, it would take so long. So pretty much what I'm doing all cutscenes, basically. So
that's what I did.
Chain of Memories is a card game. I think I went over this with you a little bit. So it's a card battle system game, but the cards, it's not just a card battle system card game. It's like into the story. Literally anything that happens in Kingdom Hearts is part of the story somehow. So they put that in the story, but you're revisiting the worlds you went to in Kingdom Hearts 1. So it was on Game Boy Advance first, and it was kind of a way for people who didn't have a PS2 to play it too. So you can kind of revisit the same story a little bit, but it's not the same story. It's weird.
They don't have Tarzan.
They don't have Tarzan because of copyright, yes. So what's going to happen is they all take place in one room. The whole story basically takes place in one room. It's not actually one room. It makes sense later on, but it basically does because I'm not doing any of the Disney worlds at all, because every Disney world you go into, it's pretty much going to be the same thing as you did in Kingdom Hearts 1, and what you do in there doesn't actually matter. I'm sorry. There are some things that, I probably should bring out and say, but I'm not going to go through every Disney world just to pick out things
take
here
forever.
and there. So, yeah. I'll just go ahead and start. Wait, is there anything you want to ask before? Oh, yeah, the answer reports. So you just went over the answer reports.
You sent me, speaking of which, I gotta turn my phone off. You sent me the answer reports, which was basically him going through how he created the Heartless, and the experiments and stuff. Which you were saying something about.
Yeah. So the main things I wanted to point out was he was talking about he was doing experiments, and the way he was doing experiments on the Heartless was he was grabbing people, like kidnapping people, and then doing experiments on them. So basically, if Sora would have followed him, he would have been a Heartless, kind of. What do you mean would have followed him?
Like, he was the one underground whenever he was carving. He was the one that went through the door, right? The dude in the strange coat.
Oh, no, this is way before that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that, but like, yeah, this is how everything started because like this guy got curious and wanted to know what happens if you fuck with people's hearts and open worlds.
He created the heart. Okay.
Yeah, so
that
like,
makes sense.
So he kidnapped people and he kind of tortured them in a way just to figure out how the heart works, what it can take, what it cannot, and then at the ending he was talking about, I can't remember what the last thing said, but it was like, I don't even want to try to revamp it, but like
it was like very deep.
Yeah.
Like
what happens to the body once a heart is gone, type of thing, and
how the heart and the flesh have like a very complex relationship. Yeah, it's just weird.
So that comes in play later on, and that would make a lot more sense too. But so we've done all that. I probably should have answered reports on air, but I mean, we're just reading a bunch of stuff. They
were pretty long. I mean, there's only 13, and they're collectibles, right? Like you find them in the game.
Yeah. And in order to get all of them, you have to like pretty much beat everything in the game.
Beat a boss, do a
secret
trophy,
bosses. Yeah. All right, so this is where we left off last time. I don't know if the camera can see this, but the green fields, and you saw Pluto. So you follow Pluto, and you go down a road, and it's just Sora, and he sees like a bunch of just paths going in different ways, and he hears a voice. It says, "Along the road lies something you need." And Sora's shocked, and he turns around, and the guy's still talking to him, and it's a guy in a black coat, like full black coat, and he goes, "However, in order to claim it, you must lose something that is dear to you."
Ooh.
And from there, you see a notebook, and on the notebook, it's just this white room that's just a void, and you also see like a doll with blonde hair and a white dress, and she has like angel wings, and it's just a doll, but it's inside of a cage.
Some Annabelle shit.
Huh?
Some Annabelle shit.
It's actually a really cute doll, though. Here, I can show you.
Some Raggedy Ann.
And it's like a cute doll.
Oh, it is.
And then you see a drawing of a castle. It's a castle that's all screwed up, like all over the place, right? And I don't want to have to keep like doing this because I don't know if it's better for me to tell you or show you.
I understand that.
I don't know, but anyway, it's like a castle and it's all screwed up.
It's like all drawn with like crayon or something, like marker.
And then you see it's for real.
Oh, is it Halla Bastion?
No, you've never seen this castle before.
Oh, okay.
So this is a new castle and it has a road going to it, like out of nothingness. And then the title pops up: Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories.
So this was a cutscene on the Game Boy Advance, like an actual cutscene.
Yeah, well, it didn't look this good.
No, that's probably like a PS2 emulator or something.
And then they go up to the castle, and Sora, or I think Donald and Goofy was kind of, I guess I didn't get this part, but I think they was like arguing if they should go in or not, whatever.
Yeah.
And they finally do go in, and Sora walks in, he opens the door, and it's just this white void. And this is pretty much what you're going to see through the entire game. It's just a white void, and like this is pretty much what it looks like. And that's that you're going to get used to that. And that's purposeful. Like, they do that on purpose. And it says, go ahead.
How long is this game? Like, typically?
I would say, like,
if you were to, like,
30
sit
hours.
down from, like, start to finish, 30 hours?
Probably.
Is there, like, side content? Or is there, like...
Not really. It's pretty linear.
Okay. Damn. For a Game Boy Advance, jeez.
Yeah, it's a pretty long game. Yeah, if you just sit down and you just play nonstop, it could be, like, 24, I don't know. Yeah, let's say about 30 hours.
Rough estimate, yeah, 30.
And when they go in, they're looking around, and Goofy's like, hey, do you think it's okay to just barge in? and Donald's like, but we gotta do it if we're gonna find the king. He's like, the king? King Mickey's here? He's like, something told me he would just be here, okay? And he says, really? Because now that you mention it, I was kind of thinking the same thing. And I'm not sure which one is saying this. It's just them three talking. Oh, no, yeah. So Donald said that to Goofy. And then Sora says, seriously? Me too. One look at this castle and I just knew. Our very best friends, they're here. Great minds think alike. And then Jiminy Cricket pops out. And he gets on Sora's shoulder. He goes, yep, I had it too. I had the exact same feeling. Gosh, maybe it's contagious. And no, something's screwy. We gotta go take a look. And Sora starts moving, and Donald's like, "What are you going?" And Sora's like, "That way, to the door. Are you scared? Because it's the door you just came in. There's just white everywhere, and there's just a walkway leading to another door. And that's how it's gonna be the entire time. It's just a walkway from one door to another. Okay, that's all it is. But the room you're in is wide and empty." So he goes, are you scared? And if you have any questions or whatnot, just let me know at any time. But Donald's like, don't be ridiculous. Come on, Goofy. Oh, come on, let's go, Goofy. And Goofy's like, hey, fellas, shouldn't we shut the door behind us before we go? And he turns around, and Goofy's like, what? And Sora's like, that's it. Who are you? Because they see somebody walked in. And Donald goes, oh, Heartless? Oh, yeah. Come on, try some magic. Oh, he's like, I'll try some magic. And he goes, thunder. And he puts his staff up in the air. And he's like,
Oh,
thunder. Thunder. And he keeps trying. And he goes, come on, blizzard? Fire?
Something?
Yeah. And he's like, why isn't it working? And then the guy in the black coat comes up to him. And he's like, I think it should be obvious. The moment you step foot inside this castle, you forgot every little spell that you knew. You forgot every spell and every ability that you knew. And they all just kind of like...
What the fuck?
Yeah. And the guy in the black coat, he says, in this place, to find is to lose, and to lose is to find.
Oh, God. It's one of these. Shit far.
That is the way of Castle Oblivion.
Ah, Castle Oblivion?
Mm-hmm. It's the name of the castle that you're in.
It's totally, like, made up from Kingdom Hearts Castle. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, am I supposed to know this?
And then he disappears into the darkness. Oh, no, he doesn't. Sorry. He transfers from
But to say, what fucking
behind.
Darkness does he disappear in? It's all white.
They do, like, portals. Like, these guys, when they transfer through darkness, they have, like, portals of darkness, and they just travel through that. But no, he started making a portal. I thought he disappeared, but he just went behind Sora, and they turned around. But he goes, here you will meet people that... Hold on. Here that you'll meet people that you know, that you've known in the past, and the people that you will miss. He's like, I miss? Riku? You mean Riku's here? And he goes, if what you mean is to find them... Hold on. I think they just start fighting right there.
Oh, shit. If what you mean is to find them.
Yeah, that or like... I totally just skipped something. But I think Sora does go attack him at some point. And then he, like, does this, and then he just disappears. And when he disappears, you just see pink flower petals all over the place. And it's like, he goes on top of the stairs where that door was leading to, and they ask him like, "What'd you do?" He goes, "I merely sampled your memories, and from then I made this." And he pulls out a card, and the card actually has that town that you went to in the first time, Traverse Town.
Yeah.
So,
Huh.
he says to reunite, and he holds up an air, to reunite with the ones that you hold dear. And he like throws him the card, and Sawyer catches it, and he goes, "What's this? A card?" And he's like, yeah, that was probably sounding gross. Sorry.
You get the good and the bad.
Right. And he, the guy in the black coat, he says, "It is a promise to reunite. It is a promise for the reunion you seek. Hold the card to open the door, and beyond it, a new world. Proceed, Sora." And he like holds his arm out, going towards the door, and Sora's just looking at the card, and he says again, like, to lose and claim anew, or to claim anew only to lose. So,
Man talks riddles. I don't like this.
yeah, and then from that point, he does disappear. Just gone. Portals into darkness.
Portals into darkness in
Yeah.
a white room. That makes no sense.
These pink flowers all over the place.
there
Pink
you go.
petals.
Who's gonna sweep that up? Who's gonna get that up? Nice porcelain floors.
That would piss me off.
Right.
Jimmy Cricket pops up from behind Sora because he's always with him, and he gets on his shoulder and he goes, "Come on, let's go." And they go through the door, and the door opens, and it's just a bunch of light. And okay, from this point, it's gonna be a lot of jumping. Because it's going to be like, okay, now he went to this world, and then you do the whole thing you do in the world, and then you come out, and it's going to be the next area. So what I have right here is the next area. But I'm going to go ahead and explain real quick, like how it works.
Like Cliff Notes.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. I'll probably just do it for the first world. I'll probably just say they did that world and whatnot. And you can kind of just imagine, because right now it's Traverse Town, so you know it's Traverse Town. But after that, it could be like Atlantica or whatever.
So
it doesn't matter.
This is kind of like a sequel, but also like a retelling.
Yep. But
it's canonically it takes place right after the first game, but also retells what just happened.
Kind of.
I mean,
with
that's
the Disney World.
That's smart.
Yeah, because you can. Yeah. But basically, when we went to Traverse Town, this is kind of going to be the same way in all of them. You go to Traverse Town and you meet Leon again, which is Squall from Final Fantasy, and those characters you saw in Final Fantasy from before. You meet them, but when you meet them, they don't know who you are at all, and that kind of happens in every world you go in. No one knows who you are.
Like
no one
as if
remembers
nothing
you.
happened?
Yeah, as if they've never met you before. So you go into the world, and they, like Aladdin, you might be having the same problem, like, dude, turn into a genie again, whatever. Like, it's just retelling of the same shit, and they don't remember you. And you kind of remember them, especially in the first time you go in there. You remember everybody. They're just like, how do you not know who I am? I'm Sora. Like,
I helped you with this.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah, but this isn't the actual real them, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Either. This is like
a simulation, kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good word. Yeah, so that's going to happen in everywhere you go to. People are just going to have problems in their little Disney world they have too, and they don't remember who you are, and then you help them, and then you leave. So that's pretty much what it's like. And I could go in detail of how the battle system works, the card battle system, if you want, but yeah.
How much time we at so far? Like 10?
18 minutes.
All right. Do like a cliff note of the battle system.
So a battle system is, okay, so you have a deck of cards and you make your deck, right? But it's live action like it is. Like, you know, did you ever see the gameplay of Kingdom Hearts 1? So you define like that, but in order to attack,
you have to use a card.
You have to use a card. So the enemy is also using a card, and if they have a 6 and you have an 8, you break their card because it's higher. And that's the higher the card is, the better it is. But the higher the card is, the more points you use, and you only have a max amount of points too. And like a zero breaks everything. So that means you don't attack, I don't attack. It just breaks whatever card it is. You have slights. A slight is if you combine certain numbers of cards together, like you have a 6, a 7, and an 8 together, it would do a special move, like a special ability attack. Like you'd be throwing a Keyblade and coming back or whatnot.
Oh.
You can do those, and slots are very, very powerful. Like, I didn't like Kingdom Hearts. A lot of people don't like Chain of Memories because it's a card game. Same for me. I played it. But once you get like halfway through it, it gets like really fun because of the slights and the different how powerful it is. Like at first, it's pretty basic attacks and stuff, but once you get developed into it, it's actually like a really good game. I know there's like one slight you do like a fire tornado, and you have your keyblade like flying around you, and you got 3 fire tornadoes coming around, and you're just like a total badass. It's pretty cool, and
I'm just amazed they were able to do that in a Game Boy Advance.
Right.
Like, this is kind of like blowing my mind. It's like, how the hell do they fit all of this in like a little tiny portable like that? But
and Donald Goofy, when they're not with you, they're also a card. So you can use a Donald card, and he'll come out and help you for a second, or a Goofy card. Same thing with like Cloud. You know Cloud, right?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy. Okay, so you can use a Cloud card. You come out, right? If you use one, because you have 3 different cards you can put together. You can combine 3 cards, and that's it. So if you combine one Cloud card, like you have a whole deck, but you can only put 3 in one. So it makes any sense. But if you do one Cloud card, he'll come out and he'll just do a slice. And he's like, phew, that's it. And you do you do 2 Clouds, I think it's just like 3 slashes. He comes out like, whatever. But if you get 3 of them together, he'll like get his angel wing out, and he'll come out, and he'll stay out there for a good minute, and he'll just start slashing on people everywhere.
Yeah.
And the magic, I kind of went OP on the magic, because that's how I actually ended up, like, just went through the whole game. For me, it was pretty easy, because if you get a fire, it's just fire. 2 fires, it's fire ruh, and then 3 fires, it's fire gruh. So I just get a whole magic deck, and I'm just be like doing like god magic all day. So that's how I pretty much went through the whole game.
You actually beat it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And the way it is set up for Sora, you just do your deck. You got summons, like I said, Cloud and whatnot. And when you defeat an enemy, you get an enemy card, and you can put that in your deck too. You can't use an enemy card, but it's always active. Like say, if you use some kind of enemy card, you get like 50% health on the strike.
So it's like a buff.
Yeah, yeah, they're buffs. So enemy cards are buffs. Yeah, and you got potion cards and stuff. So,
items and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, so it's all a big card game. And when you level up, you can level up your health, your strength, I want to say. I don't think it's just strength. It's something else, and then your slides. So you can pick which ones you want. But yeah, that's how it works. Oh, it's your card. Your card points, your health, or your slides. So you can pick to get a new power, more health, or more points on your cards. So you can get more cards.
By the way, if I look bored, I'm not. I'm just trying to visualize what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I know I probably look bored out of my mind. I'm not. I'm trying to like process what you're saying along with trying to visualize it.
Yeah, it's a lot at once.
So, if I ever look bored, I'm not. I'm trying to process and then visualize what's happening and then moving on.
Yeah, man. What's so hard about a live action game being a card game at the same time and having summons?
They should make more of those. Those are fun.
It was actually pretty fun. It really was. It wasn't fun at first, but then it was.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we do Twilight Town, right? We finally beat it, and then you go to the next room. In the next room, the guy's there again. The guy in the black coat, and he says, "Well, Sora, did you enjoy meeting your memories?" He says, "Yeah, it was good to see everyone." Sorry, guys. Let me just go to Do Not Disturb for a second.
Can you see the guy in the cloak? Like, can you see his face,
Nope.
or is it just a hood?
It's just the hood.
Oh, wow.
It's just the hood. I'll show you to him right now. It's just the hood.
Are the subtitles a certain text color?
Nope. Nope.
Oh, wow. They really keep that under wraps.
Yep.
Because you know how in the newer games you can kind of see who it is?
Purposely if they want you to.
Right?
So...
You can do this. We're all detectives. Come on.
So, he says, where were we at? Oh, yeah, he's like, it's good to see everyone, but what do you really want from me? He says, what do you have to give? And then someone, and also a black coat with long red hair and spiky and like tears under his eyes.
Ooh.
I'll show you what it looks like. He has green eyes.
Oh, okay.
He pops up and he goes, hello. And he's behind the guy with the black coat. And the guy in the black coat goes, what do you want?
I can imagine like they're just at work. He's like, hi. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. It's literally like he just says, what do you want? And the guy in the red hair, he puts his hands on his hips and he goes, no hogging the hero. And he also has a card and he throws it. And then the guy in the black coat says, then perhaps you'd like to test them. He goes, my show now, Keyblade Master. He says, who am I? My name's Axel. Got it memorized? So, remember that. That's his...
Is his name... The one with the red hair is named Axel?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he says, got it memorized. That's his thing.
It's a stick.
Yeah, it's his stick. He says, who am I? I'm Axel. Got it memorized. And he says, good, you're a quick learner. So, Sora, now that we're getting to know each other better, and he like pulls out his weapons. It's hard to explain what they are, but they're like spheres, but with spikes all over them. And you'll get to learn.
Oh, that's some like make your own lightsaber kind of shit.
And you'll get to learn that each member you find. Well, I shouldn't say member. I should say like each person in black coats.
Each of one of the black coats.
Yeah, because you'll start seeing them and whatnot. Spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm.
You already seen two guys in black coats.
Yeah.
They usually have some kind of power, some kind of elemental or different kind of power.
So I take it his is like fire?
Yep.
Okay.
This guy's is fire. And so he pulls it out, he gets fire, and he goes, and he comes up, he did it with his arms out and his head down, and he comes up and laughs, and he goes, don't go off and die on me now. And so then they fight. And then after they fight, he gives him a card. And Sora's looking at the card, and you don't see what it is, you see what the back of it is. They go, another one, what's it do? And Jiminy says, it kind of looks like the card you used to make Traverse Town. And he said, then I guess we're gonna need it to keep going. And then Axel's against the wall now, like by the stairs we have to go. And he goes, that's right. Do you really think after that introduction I would just give up so easily? And then they're ready to fight again.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, Sora goes, you were testing us. And Axel goes, and you passed. Congratulations, Sora. And he goes, you're ready now. Ready to take Castle Oblivion. You need to follow. Oh God, I can't talk. You will need to follow your memories. Trust in what you remember and seek what you forget.
So, was it an actual interactive battle or was it like a cutscene?
No, it was an actual fight.
Was it like, is it hard? Or is it just kind of like...
I think it was not too bad. Yeah, it's going to be happening a lot. It's going to be like, these guys will get fighting, and then it's just going to show what happened after. Because I skipped all the fighting and all that stuff.
I play this card. He plays this card. We do this. I can see that, yeah.
So, yeah, the guy just uses fire. You use Blizzard on him.
I took a few hits. It's fine. I use item.
Yeah. Trust what you remember and seek what you find, and then you will find someone very special. And they said, you mean King Mickey and Riku? And Axel says, you would just have to give some more thought into who that is. That's most important to you. Our most precious memories lie deep within our hearts. That they're out of reach. But I'm sure that you can find yours, Sora. You have lost the sight and the light within the darkness, and it seems that you've forgotten, or you're forgotten that you forgot. And it seems that you've
forgotten that you forgot.
Yeah.
What have I remembered?
that is going to be a big thing coming up more. Like
you've forgotten that you forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Is this what Kingdom Hearts 2 is going to be?
Oh,
You've remembered that you've forgotten, so now we cannot remember what you've forgotten.
No, it's going to make a lot more sense, but also be a lot more confusing.
Okay. God help me. Okay.
It's going to make more sense when you're hearing it. Like, oh, that makes sense. But damn, that's weird. Like, that's how that's going to be. This is just like, can you talk right? Like, give me riddles,
Right.
So, the light within the darkness. Would you like me to give you a hint? And Axel holds out his hand. And Goofy's like, Sora, do you need it? Because he's trying to think, like, who matters to him the most.
Do you need it? What the fuck do you think I need it, Goofy? Dumbass.
And Sora goes, I'm going to figure it out myself.
God. Don't take the hint from the man with riddles.
And then Donald got in front of Axel, and he goes, don't worry, Sora. We'll protect you. And he says, Axel says, but be forewarned. When your slippery memories awaken, you may no longer be who you are now.
Oh, shit.
And Jiminy is sitting there on Sora's like coat, whatnot.
Hey, you got beeping.
Good. Yeah.
Okay.
Just on time. And Sora looks behind him and he goes, "What's wrong, Jiminy?" He's like, "Well, you see, Axel said back there. What Axel said back there worries me. What could he have meant by you may no longer be who you are, and I may no longer be me? How can I be anyone else?" That's what Sora said. And of course, still, you can't be too careful. And Goofy's like, "Yep. Feels like just about anything could happen in this here castle. Oblivion. And he's like, "Oh yeah, now I remember." Or I think they was like trying to remember Oblivion, like Oblivion.
Oblivion.
And then he goes, "Oh yeah, now I remember." He's like, Sora says, "Whatever it takes, they're cooking up, or whatever it is they're cooking up, we'll be able to handle it together. And of course we will. Like that creepy castle, or of course we will like that creepy castle we explored together." And they're trying to think, "Oh, okay, yeah. Is that saying that we can do anything together?" And it's like, "Of course we will. Like that creepy castle we explored together." And they're sitting there and they're thinking, like, when was that? And they go, "I can't remember. What was it called again? Gosh." And Goofy's like, "Gosh, I think it was Holler? Sorry, I can't remember."
So are they like actively losing their memory? Like actually losing their memory?
And Donald goes, "Wah, stop goofing around." He's like, "Goofy," and Sora goes, "Goofy, are you sure you didn't make that up?"
Shit.
Goofy goes, "I don't think so." So you know what they're talking about, right?
Yeah, Halabastion, right?
Yeah.
So they don't remember what just happened? Because this takes place like what, maybe an hour later? Or like maybe 2 hours later? And they don't remember it.
Goofy's like, holler, and Donald's like, "Quit goofing around." And so yeah, Sora's like, you sure you did not?
So does Donald remember it?
No, that's what I'm saying. Donald's like, "Quit goofing around," and Sora's like, "You sure you just didn't make that up?"
Ooh.
And then they go through another section, like a world, doesn't matter, make whatever you want it to be. And then they're into the room again, the big white void of a room. And then Goofy stops and he just starts thinking again. And then Donald and Goofy, or Sora and Goofy, turns around and they're like, "What's wrong?" And Goofy's like, "It's that creepy castle that I was talking about earlier." And he's like, "I know I didn't imagine it, cause that is where the castle where Sora had to use his Keyblade to free Kaori's heart."
Oh, I remember that, but not the fucking name. Okay.
And then it shows like Sora getting stabbed and the sacrifice and whatnot.
Oh.
And then Goofy's like, then he just disappeared, and I was so worried. And he's like, "How could I ever forget that?" And Sora goes, "Oh, it was when I turned into a Heartless. Wait, that happened in a castle?" And Donna goes, "Oh, you forget that? Because I remember it perfectly." And then Sora goes, "Then what's it called?" He goes, "That's easy. It was Jiminy."
Help me out here.
Yeah, he goes, "Jiminy, help me. It's in your journal, right?" And he comes out and he's like, "Yeah. I finished the first volume right before we got into the castle. Now then, if I can just find it, here we go. Let's have a look." And I don't know if you remember, but everything you did in the whole game,
yeah,
it's all it's all in the journey. You can go Jiminy's journey to see everything you've done, whatever, right? And then Jimmy looks at it, and he goes like, his eyes open wide, and he goes, "Huh? How could that be?" And they're like, "What's the matter?" He goes, "My entries, they're gone. And all the pages are blank."
Shit erased. No. Pulled a Metal Gear and deleted all your shit.
He goes, "Every page is blank." And Donald's like, "What do we do?" He's like, "How could this happen? I was so careful with the journals."
Reload the game save.
Yeah, he goes, "All that hard work is gone. The journal's blank. What's going on?" And then it goes back to that notebook with someone drawing. You can tell it's a girl. She has blonde hair. I'll kind of just show you right here. And you can tell she's like writing a notebook.
Can you go back to the other one? I don't know. It's probably just the finger placements, but it looks like her like hand going up is like extra long fingers. Like that shit's like wrapping all the way around.
This is like my favorite woman. No, I'm not gonna say anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't diss him on my girl. I said her name on accident.
So is she's important, right?
So
moving on. All right. Do I know her?
No, you. No.
No. Okay.
But no. Do you?
Is it someone that
No.
I've been introduced to before? From the first game?
No.
Okay. Then just leave it at that.
Oh, and just keep in mind that the way I'm saying no is.
It's implying something, yes.
Yes, but
we'll
it's still no.
We'll leave it at that for
Okay.
now.
And they're like, it goes back to Sword Donald and Goofy and say something screwy. The journal pages don't just vanish. And they go, what if it's more things? Goofy was telling about another castle we've been to, but none of us remember it. Do you think it could be that we don't remember because we're losing our memories? And Donald's like, losing our memories? And Jiminy says, hold on. Remember what that mystery fella said? In this place is to lose, or to find is to lose, and to lose is to find. It must be our memories he was talking about losing. So if we keep going, we'll lose more. Guess it really is a Castle Oblivion. So the higher we go, the more we forget. Yeah, that's another thing. You're constantly going up the tower. Like,
And so the higher that you go, the more you're forgetting.
that's what they're saying, yes.
That's their theory.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like in the game, it says you're on the first floor, third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor.
How many floors are there? Do you remember?
Yes, but I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. Is it above or below 20?
I don't. I think I know exactly what it is, but I also don't want to say.
Okay,
things
you don't
I-
have to. All right.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
So yeah, so higher we go, the more we'll forget. Does that mean everything and everybody will be forgotten? And Riku and Kairi too? And Donald goes, do you want to go back? And Goofy says, well, we might forget about what we've been or the things we've seen, but we won't forget our friends. And Donald goes, I don't know. And Goofy says, when you turned into the Heartless, did you forget about me and Donald? And Sora goes, of course I didn't. See? There you go. No matter what happens, you won't ever forget your friends. And he has like a big smile on his face.
Uh-huh.
And Sora goes, you're right. Thank you, Goofy. And Donald says, so if there's nothing here that can make us forget about your friends, then we have nothing to be scared of. Let's go. And they saw it, and Donald starts walking towards the door. And Sora goes, but when I turned into a Heartless, who was the one that took forever to notice? Who was the one who took forever to notice me and kept clobbering me? And Donald turns around like with a pissed off face. He goes, how come you didn't forget about that then, huh?
Right, you little fucker.
And then I think this is like they did a world and they come back, and Donald says, I hope the king is going to be okay. And Sora says, why would you bring that up? He says, I had to be sure that I didn't forget about him. How'd that go for you? That's what Goofy says. He says, good. I remembered. We're on a quest to find the king. I remember that too. The king helped save everybody by, and I guess it's kind of like them all. This is kind of smart, I think, too. This is like them being like, hey, I still remember because they're forgetting the memories, but they're also saying like, hey, in case you didn't play the first game, you're just playing Game Boy Advance.
Ah,
Yeah.
Okay.
So, kind of smart.
Yeah. So they've already done the world.
Mm-hmm.
This is their second world they're doing, correct?
Second or third, I don't know.
Second-
We're kind of just
second
going
or
flying
third.
through worlds.
And he just gained a memory, correct? Like if they're gaining a little bit more.
No, they're not. He's not gaining, but he's just like, I do remember the king. That's our main mission, and now he's saying that like, I remember the king helped save everybody, and he stayed on the other side of the door of the darkness, and whatnot. And I think Goofy said that, and then Donald's like, you got it, Goofy. And he says, and me, I was looking for Riku. Sora says, and me, I was looking for Riku. He was with the king behind the door when it closed. I guess there's no way we'll forget the most important memories. And he says, that's good, because I don't want to forget. Well, that's what Donald said.
So, I had a question.
Go for it.
I had a question. I just couldn't remember
It's
it.
because we're in Class Oblivion, man.
Right? Oh, that's what it was. Are the hooded people like big in the lore, or is it just kind of only in this game? Do I ask like the worst question?
No, that's not really a bad question. I just don't decide. I'll tell you, yeah. I'll just go and tell you. Yeah. I will just say
They're
this.
big in the lore?
Just about anybody you meet in Kingdom Hearts
Mm-hmm.
has a big part to play. Like, there's
Okay.
there's never, like, a side character, really. About everybody you meet, you're like, okay, well, that was a cool part, but, you know, that arc's over. Nah. I'm pretty sure that
They
guy,
all come back.
Yeah.
They all do
It's
some
not that they
shit.
all just like come back. It's like, oh, that guy, what he did played a part 3 games later, but you just didn't know. And then when they find out, it's like, oh my god, now that makes sense.
Okay.
Or something.
All right, that's cool.
It's just.
So, when did this game come out and prior to the first one?
I think like 2003,
And the first one came out 2000?
2.
2002?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's just a year later.
Yeah.
And then what? Kingdom Hearts 2 came out 2005?
4.
Oh, wow. So it's just like bam, bam, bam.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kingdom Hearts 3 came out 2018. It took a little too long.
And then, 2019.
That's what it was. Yeah.
January 2019.
Just
So,
barely.
Yeah, just barely. Okay, so from here you see Axel, and they're looking like a sphere-looking ball, and then you see another girl or another person who you can tell is a girl from the behind. She has blonde hair, but she's in a cloak this time,
Mm-hmm.
and says, "You seem intrigued by this Sora kid. Are you telling me you're not Larxene?" So her name is Larxene.
Larxene?
Larxene.
Larxene, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is she from a Final Fantasy?
No.
Or she's, okay.
She's just the person in the cloak.
Oh, okay.
So that's what she looks like. Oh yeah, that's when you see her face too. She turns
It's like
around.
a damn cult. Yeah.
Basically. and she goes, "I haven't decided yet. I think what intrigues me more is the way you seen him." And and Axel says, there is a time he became a Heartless, and if one becomes a Heartless, they lose their hearts and their minds and their feelings, and they're consumed by the darkness. And she's like, "Right, but not Sora." And Axel says he held on to his feelings even as a Heartless, and there's only one other man who's been able to do just that. It's the strength of his heart. That's what interests you. Why the Keyblade chose Sora's heart? To unlock the mysteries of the heart. Isn't it obvious, or isn't that what Axel says to her? Let me go back to that. To unlock the mysteries of the heart. Isn't that the organization's mission?
The organization?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. So their mission is to get the power of the Keyblade, right?
To unlock the mysteries of the heart.
Okay. That was just Anson's mission, wasn't it?
No.
He was trying to create.
Yes, but no.
In a way, he was trying to create a heart from nothing.
Yeah.
And they're trying to discover the mysteries of the heart.
Yes.
So this whole thing is about fucking scientific experiments on the heart.
Kind of. What he just said would make more sense later on.
Okay.
But yeah, for now, I guess that kind of plays in.
He's the one. Sora's the only one that became a Heartless and then turned back.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Didn't one of the reports say that Anson did? Ansem, yeah.
Yeah.
What one of the reports says that he
turned into a Heartless, but he realized like he wasn't a Heartless.
Yeah.
And he was wondering what was about that. Like what's up with that? Because he should have been a Heartless.
He should have been, but he wasn't.
But he wasn't.
So whenever they closed Kingdom Hearts, didn't everybody that was a Heartless turn back to normal?
No.
No? Okay. This is why I need a refresher, because I'm trying to like, wait a minute, this don't make sense. Okay,
All that
now we're
really
good.
did was close the door from the Heartless going into the other world.
Okay.
So
Kingdom Hearts is still full of Heartless right now.
Oh man. Okay, so I'm just gonna skip that topic because you're asking about Kingdom Hearts, and that's
a totally different.
That's so much. Because all you know is Kingdom Hearts 1 right now.
All right, we'll leave it there.
Okay, so they did a world, and now you're in the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And Donald says, "Hey, I wonder if there's anything we've forgotten." And Goofy says, "If we did, what would have it been? He goes, I can't think of anything, so maybe that means that I really am losing my memories. And Goofy says, but whatever they were, they couldn't have been very important memories, right? And Sora says, right, or else I don't think we would have forgotten it. Look, and he pulls out the thing that Kairi gave him, that Lucky Charm. Oh my God.
That Lucky Charm.
No, it's not
the fucking marshmallow from the Lucky Charm cereal.
People are going to hate me. That's so important.
Let me take a closer look at that. Here, let me see.
That's what Kairi gave him right before they left.
Shit, that's my knee pop.
The it looks like a powder fruit, but it's not. It's a
It's like a star.
God. I mean, yeah, it's like a thing of a powder fruit, but it's called something, and I feel really bad. I'm sorry, Kingdom Hearts fans. I should know this, but I'm on the spot. Wow, I feel bad.
It's like an ornament. Okay.
Yeah, that's what she gave them right before they went to Halabastion to fight Ansem and whatnot.
Yeah, to remember me by.
It's right. The
It's the something.
Anyway, I'm gonna
revert back to Part 4 of Kingdom Hearts. There you go.
Oh my God,
we know it. We just don't know.
I'm not even a fan, guys. I'm just
right.
I'm just doing this for the views. I really wish I did know what this was though. But yeah, Sora pours it out and he says, "Look." And look at it. It's my good luck charm that Kairi gave me. And, well, he says good luck charm, so whatever.
All right.
Not lucky charm.
It's a lucky charm.
Yeah, we go. Good luck charm. And he says it's special to her. So I promised her that I would return it. And I would never forget making that promise. And it's why I can never forget about Kairi. Am I right, Kairi? And then it's like a black void, and all you see is Sora, and he's just smiling. And then Kairi's there, and he's like smiling at her. Mm-hmm. And then he goes, huh? And behind him, of that black void, you see the girl in the white dress and the blonde hair.
Oh, the doll, right?
Yes, but no.
Like
it might have shown her face before him, but I guess I'll spoil it if not. It was the girl that was drawing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but she does have the doll of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like it's just like it's like a doll of her kind of.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that is actually her, and she's the girl that's been drawn. And Sora's like, huh? And he turns around, and when he turns around, she's gone. But he like felt the.
Like I said, Annabelle shit.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
He felt that she was around. He goes, do I know that girl? And they go, hey Sora, where did you go? He was like zoned out. And Goofy's like, well, we better keep going. And Sora says, who could that have been? Before, in my memory, it wasn't Kairi, but another girl? Maybe, I think her name was... And then they're like, Sora, let's go. You want to go find the king? And the Riku and the king, don't you? And he goes, sure. Oh. He goes, man, it was right on the tip of my tongue. Thinking of her name and whatnot. And then they go into the world. And then you see her again. She's over here drawing like she normally does. And the picture that she draws is a picture of Sora, Riku, Sora, Riku.
It's okay.
Sora, Riku, that girl.
You want to repeat that? that third one, huh?
Sora, Riku, that girl, and Riku.
Mm.
So it's them four together, all holding hands.
Gotta get the censor. Just bleep that out. It's fine.
Yeah, that was a close one. But yeah, it has all four of them together, holding hands together, and that's the drawing.
So how long does it take to get through a world?
Okay, look. It can take...
Like on average?
It can if you're just playing the game out, maybe like 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But if you want to do everything in that world, it can take you like 30 minutes.
What is everything in that world like?
That means going... So in order to... whenever you defeat a boss or something, you would get a card. Mm-hmm. And that card... is decided what your next room inside is going to be. Oh. Say there's a map, and you know for the end there is a finish point right here, but you start way over here. Sorry guys. And you know, and you can see the rooms, and there is at least like 15 rooms, 10 rooms, like 25 rooms to get to that door. And whenever you beat some kind of boss, you have a door card, and that door card would have, hey, this card right here has this type of enemies, like really strong enemies, or this card has no enemies into it. And each time you go through a door, that door card determines what you're going to have there.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, you can go to a room of collectibles, you can go to a room that has, like, 4 stories.
Or you can just beeline it to the...
Yeah.
Okay.
And, if you know what you're doing, too, you could also just get the beginning and the end in, like, 5 minutes. So,
okay. All right, that makes sense.
Depends if you want to level up, collect things, and all that stuff. So, after they did that world, they're going through the White Void room, and Sora just tells him, he goes, there was another girl. And they just turn around like, what? Another girl? Where? And they're like looking around. He goes, no. I mean, on the island where I used to live. He says, besides Kairi and Riku, there was another girl I was friends with. And he goes, the 4 of us played together all the time. And Jimmy Cricket pops out and he goes, seems to be that's the first time you've mentioned her, or seems to me that that's the first time you've mentioned her. And he goes, yeah, I guess I forgot about her. I think she just suddenly went away when we was really little. And what I'm not sure if it was Donald or Goofy. What do you think made you remember it now? And he says, I'm not sure, but it's coming back to me in pieces as we go through the castle. And gosh, of course,
that's Goofy.
It's Goofy. Gosh. Do you remember her name? And so it goes, I don't remember. I feel kind of dumb. We said that we weren't going to forget our friends, and well, now. Let me go past that. Yeah, I can't remember her name. And they go, Sora, because he's all sad, and he like pounds down. He goes, oh, you shouldn't, sorry. Oh, you shouldn't be worrying about nothing. I can't not talk like Goofy at all.
It's hard.
It's really hard. But if it's been coming back to you in pieces, you're sure to remember her name just like everything else. And they go, Sora, is there anything else you remember about that other girl? And Sora just bits and pieces. Maybe you could try telling us a little more stuff about her. Who knows, it might help you remember other things. And Sora goes, he goes, she was kind of quiet and always drawing. And as he's doing this, it's like Black Void again, you see. And she's in like, just drawing. Like he says, she was kind of quiet, always drawing. When we go to the beach, she'd just draw a picture instead of going swimming. Sometimes she'll draw us too. It was really good. And it was like Sora and Riku as kids fighting each other with wooden swords. And it was just her on the ground in front of them drawing.
Was there anybody else? Was there anybody else?
It's the Black Void again. But like, yeah, they said sometimes she would draw us too. She was really good. I remember Riku and I were fighting over who she would draw next. But one day, she was gone. Just like that. I think the grown-ups knew the reason. They might even try to explain it to me once.
So they know about grown-ups.
Yeah, Sora's mom says like, Sora, time for dinner. Sora.
So they live on that island with them.
I don't think it's a big spoiler. So the island they live on, you found out later on, I guess. The island they live on is just kind of like an island away from the city. Like you can literally just get the boats and go there.
Oh
yeah, even in Kingdom Hearts 1 they was talking about that. Like you would get a boat to go to the island. It's like an island they play on, and they just made like shacks and stuff out of it.
Okay.
So yeah,
Shit.
You're good. But he says, I remember crying because he says I remember the adults had to try to tell me what happened, but I don't think I knew what they was telling. I don't think I would understood. And he's like, I remember crying after she was gone, but that's all. I still don't remember her name. And he says, oh, I bet you remember it in no time. I must point out, Sora keeps remembering things instead of forgetting about them. It seems to me forgetting things may be the only way to reach the memories buried deeper down inside of each of us. And Goofy says, so we gotta forget in order to remember?
Oh, fuck that. You gotta forget shit just to remember stuff you don't know? Man, fuck that. Nah.
He's like those guys said, our most precious memories lie deep within our hearts, that they're so out of reach. All that stuff about finding and losing to be finding. I didn't get it at all at first, but now maybe this is what they meant. And let's see, is gosh, Sora, I think I'm a little jealous of y'all. How come me, Donald, and Jiminy aren't remembering more things from more memories from our past?
How come we ain't doing shit and you getting everything?
And Donald looks at Goofy and he goes, "Come on, Goofy, like we gotta get going. Let's go. Let's get going. We gotta forget things faster."
I don't want to think about it.
No, that's what it says. He says, "Come on, Goofy, let's get going. We gotta forget things faster." So,
what if that's how it worked? Like, to remember where you put your keys,
yeah,
you gotta forget something that just happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. There they are.
Yeah, so they're getting jealous of Sora because he's forgetting things, remembering more.
Mm-hmm.
But,
and they're like, "Fuck all." They're doing nothing.
So you're back at the spot where Larxene and Axel is, and they say, "Just as we intended, we'll continue with our plan. Let's see how far this group will go. You had your fun on the first floor, so it's my turn." This is Larxene talking to Axel. And she has a card herself, and she smiles. She goes, "I'm not just going to give it to him."
So we haven't fought a Larxene yet, right?
No.
Okay.
We've not even met her. We've just seen her. And
We're seeing her talk to...
Yeah.
Okay.
The story's not met them. And let me turn this down a little bit. And then Axel is just kind of like salty about it, I guess is the word.
Yeah.
And he tells her, he goes, "Don't break them."
I want to play with him.
And Larxene goes, "Well, by the way, Larxene is a total fucking cunt and a bitch. Like, just the way that she fucking talks. People either love her or hate her, and I'm the ones that hate her because she is just an intentional cunt. Like she means to be a bitch, like about everything. But yeah, she goes, "Well, do I detect a soft spot?" And she goes, "I'm not going to break your toy. I'm not dumb. Or I'm not going to break the toy. I'm not dumb." And he says, "Don't forget, Sora is the key. We need him if we're going to take over the organization."
Oh, so they're trying to take it over. Oh, shit.
And...
Have we got a name for the organization yet?
No.
Okay.
But it is...
Damn, I'm trying to trip you out. Shit.
And Larxene goes, "I know you're in it too." And she points back at him. She goes, "I know that you're in it too. But we keep it under the hood. At least until the time is right." And Axel says, "You would have been wise." Oh no, she disappears. She's pretty much saying like, "Hey, yeah, I know you're in it too, but we don't talk about it. Like, keep it under the hood." And then she disappears.
I know whenever you say they disappear, it's some like kind of cool VFX, but I just imagine she just fucking like...
No, that's pretty much all it is. It's like a darkness portal that comes up from over them, and it takes them over, and you don't see them. It's like a darkness bubble, and then they just whoosh into the darkness.
So they're like manipulators of the darkness.
Kind of. They're controlling the darkness, yeah. They're traveling through darkness.
Can they control Heartless? Or Undetermined?
You will find out.
Okay.
So,
if you don't want to answer something, just say you'll find out. And I'm trying to fix this shit.
Okay.
There we go, that's better.
But yeah, that's pretty much what she says. She's like, "Hey," because pretty much Axel just said like, "Hey, if you want to take over the organization," and that's when she's like, "Yeah, okay. Obviously, I know you're in it too, but we don't talk about that out loud," kind of thing, right? And then that's whenever she teleports away. And then after she's gone, Axel says to himself, he says, "You would have been wise to keep that to, or you would have been wise to done the same, Larxene." And he smiles.
Fucking bitch.
Well, not just that. He's like, he said it out loud to her, and then she confirmed it, and so he's like, "You've been wise to keep that to yourself," kind of thing. Like, I don't know.
If them two would have fought, who do you think would have won?
I already know who won, but I'm not gonna say.
Have they fought?
No.
Okay. But you know who would have if they did.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they'll walk in. This is after you've done another world, and then you're in the room again. And like I said, every time you go out of a world into another one, you're into that room.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's purposeful, and you get it now. Like, it's kind of forgetful. Like, it's confusing on purpose. Like, the forgetting. But anyway, it says so. And Goofy says, "So, Sora, did anything back there help you remember your old friend's name?" He goes, "Her name's the only thing I can't seem to remember." And Donald goes, "You gotta try. Hurry up and remember it." And then Larxene pops up in front of them with a stupid fucking look on her face. I'm sorry. But she also looks kind of pretty too. But,
She gives me like Android 18 vibes.
yeah.
Is that just me or?
Yeah. I mean, just check that one time.
Yeah.
And, yep, we're good.
Cool.
Sweet. Yeah, she kind of looks like Android 18, but more of a cunt.
I mean, wasn't she like an ass in the show? Android 18?
Yeah. She was...
Like whenever they were controlling her?
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't, I don't know about an ass, but she was just like...
I'm better than you, kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Larkstein kind of has that, but she's outspoken about it.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense.
So she's egotistical and she wants you to know it?
Yeah.
Okay.
About everything. Every fucking thing. God, she's such a cunt. Anyway.
Do people hate her? That play it?
No, either they really love her or they really hate her.
Okay.
And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She's just too much of a cunt for me.
I mean, maybe that's the point. So
yeah, that is the point. That is like...
So that's a good thing, at least.
Yeah, like her character is good for that reason. It's like Joffrey from like Game of Thrones. I don't know if you ever watched that, but people hate Joffrey. But that's...
Is he like the Kid King?
Yeah.
Yeah. People hate him.
Yeah, but you're supposed to.
Yeah.
So...
You should play an asshole like Umbridge from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, when they pop up, Donna goes, or she sees Larkstein, or he sees Larkstein, and he goes, I bet you work with Axel. And she says, too clever. I'm Larkstein. So, are you enjoying your stay at the castle? And I bet, I'm not even sure who's saying that. I think it's Larkstein. I bet it's nice to peel away all those worthless memories. Yeah, this is definitely her. Just by the way she fucking talks. Okay, so I bet it's nice to peel away all those worthless memories and awaken the true memories that lie deep within your heart. And so I was giving her like a weird look. He goes, true memories? And she says, although it seems that you're still forgetting the most important thing here. When that poor girl hears that you've forgotten about her name, why, it would break her little heart. God, I fucking hate her. And so he goes, poor girl, do you know her? Is she here? And Larkstein turns around and she says, yes, she is. You see, the bad guys are holding her captive somewhere deep inside this castle, and you obviously are the hero, so you have to go save her. Although, and she just pops up to him like really fast and like fucking kicks him in the chest.
What the fuck?
And he goes flying back, and as he's flying back, like this thing right here falls off of him, and he hits the ground, and his Keyblades out, and she's like over him, and she says, "I'm the bad guy, so you have to get through me." And they're like, "Sora!" Because it happened so fast. Like they're
so it's like a Matrix kind of kick.
Yeah, basically.
As soon as she hits him, he's
So I'll go and spoil it. Her thing is lightning. So
he was fire. She's lightning.
Yeah, she was lightning, and she since lightning is like super fast, she's also really fast too.
Okay.
So, and they go, Sora, and he goes, what's that? And he looks up as he's still on the floor. And he goes, is that thing mine? And he goes, talking about this. And he goes, what a shame. You've been wearing that all this time and you forgot? No, that's not possible. The memory has to be engraved somewhere deep inside your heart. Sora, you think carefully now. What could that be? And who gave it to you? And he's like thinking really hard. And he goes, Nama. And she says, Sora, you're getting it now. Release the memory within your heart. And he goes, Namine.
Huh.
And he goes, well, and she says, well, it's about time. That's right, Namine. Yes, she's the one that gave that to you. Or she's the one that gave you that tacky little good luck charm. Not that you would bother to remember. And she picks it back up and holds it. She goes, no surprise, seeing that you also couldn't remember her name. Talk about heartless.
What a
I can't even
bitch.
believe you.
What a fucking bitch.
She's a total cunt. And as she's doing that, she goes, talk about heartless. And she's all dramatic.
Yeah.
She has her head down. She's like, I can't even believe you.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
And then in her chain, she's holding his little charm up now. She goes, it would serve you right if I decided to smash this piece into junk. And he grabs it from her, and he holds it to her heart, And she goes, "Oh, it's important to you?" And she pulls out her weapon, which is like a bunch of little knives, basically.
Oh,
is what
pulling
she has.
a Loki. Oh, shit.
Yeah, she has like each little slit in her finger.
Yeah.
She has knives coming out like that. And she,
Ooh.
like, shit. She goes, 10 seconds ago, you didn't even know who that was. She says, 10 seconds ago, you didn't even know who it was. Or what it was. Sorry. Damn it. But yeah.
She's just punchable.
Yes.
Very punchable.
Yes. And then she gets her things out, and then you two are about to fight, and then I think you guys did actually fight, and then this is a cutscene after that, and he's like swiping at her, and she like jumps back. She goes, "You're not as bad as I thought. You really are a hero, a heartless hero."
Fuck off with you.
She says, "Oh, does it hurt because this is truth? You're just a baby." And if you're gonna be a baby, then here you go. And she has a card in her hand, and she like throws it at him. She goes, I created a card from your memories. You know, be a good boy and say thanks." And and he goes,
"Damn."
He goes, "Wait, Larxene!" He starts running after her, and I think that's when she disappears. And yeah, he's like running around. And I think from here to, I think we did another world chasing her, and then you ran to the next one. And he's like looking around. He's like, "Where'd you go? Don't dare you hide from me. Show yourself." And Sora's like walking around like he's mad and everything. And he's like, Where you at?" And he keeps saying like, show yourself. And he's just swiping everywhere. And Donald Goofy goes, "Sora, calm down. She's not coming back." And then he stops and looks down, and he goes, "I hate this. Why'd I need someone like her to bring that back? Naminé's memory." And like Sora's like just mad. And then now it goes to Larxene and Axel, and they say, "Woo, throwing that battle wore me out." She says that to Axel.
Yeah.
Like, "Woo, throwing that battle wore me out." And Axel says, "Really? It looked like to me like you just plain lost." She goes, "How dare you? You don't appreciate the nuances of," and he says, "an ungainly effort." So, and
rightly
then
deserved.
so then a darkness portal shows up, and then another guy in a cloak comes in
Fucking hey.
with long hair and blonde, and they say, "Vexen."
Vexen? Okay.
His name is Vexen. And she was just kind of a bitch, and she was punchable because she was a bitch. This guy is punchable because of his face. I hate looking at his face. The guy is actually, as a character, he's good. All right, I like him. You know, whatever. I mean,
It's just the model of the face.
the model of the face is so goddamn punchable, dude. Like, look at him. Like, this is.
It's like a Chad.
I just want to punch him, to be honest with you. And he says, "How could you be so humbled by someone of such limited significance?" He says, "You shame the organization." And Axel goes, "How can we help you, Vexen? It's not very often we see you on the top side." And Vexen says, "I came here to lend you a hand. You obviously believe this Sora has so much potential, but I remain unconvinced. He is truly worth such coddling. I don't know what word. But he's like, I think an experiment would show if he really is any value to us." And Larxene goes, "Well, here we go again." And she says, "It's just an excuse so you can carry on your little experiments, that's all." And he goes, or Vexen says, "I'm a scientist. Experiments is what I do. Yes." And Axel says, "Whatever. You can do what you want. But, you know, I think testing Sora is just a cover for testing your valet. V-A-L-E-T. Valet. I don't really know what that means.
Valet, I don't know.
Valet. He's the product of pure research." And Larxene says, "What he is actually a toy." And Vexen says, "You should learn to be quiet." And Axel, "Anyway, since you came all this way, you're gonna need this." And he pulls out a card. And the card, he puts it down. He says, "Yeah, you're gonna need this." And it's a card of Destiny Islands. don't know if you can see that. But
Destiny Island?
Yeah.
That's the island they were in, right?
Yep. That's the card. That's the picture on the card.
So they're trying to help Sora get through it. So they're actively like giving him cards to let him like go through his memories.
Yes.
Effectively, yes.
Yes.
So they're kind of in a way maybe using him.
Yes.
Okay.
In a way.
All right, we'll go with that.
And then he actually hands it to Vex, and he goes, "A humble gift to you, my elder. I hope you use it, and I hope you use it to put on a very good show for us." And then you see, you hear somebody walking, and then I'll just show you. This is what it is. It's like feet.
It's like purple boots with like some kind of ripped clothes.
Do you remember who that was before?
I want to say Riku. But
Yes, it was Riku in his dark form.
Yeah.
They turn around and they look at him, and it's like Riku, feet in his dark form.
Ooh.
So, and then it cuts on to Sora. This is after you beat another world. Sora's running like as fast as he can, and they say, "Sora, not so fast!" And Sora turns around and is like, "We don't have time. We have to get. They've got Naminé," and he's like, "We have to rescue her." And Donald Goofy are kind of out of breath, like, Sora does seem a little. Sora sure does seem like he's upset. And Goofy says, "You'd be too." He just remembered a friend, but found out that she's in trouble. And Donald says, "Good point." And he says, "I guess if we heard that the king was in danger, we'd be pretty upset about that too." And then from there, you see Riku walking in that area.
Oh no.
And they say, "You're Riku?" And it's like Riku's walking towards Sora. And Sora goes, "What are you doing here?" He says, and Riku says, "Not happy to see me? Let me know if I'm getting in the way of, something that's more important." Spare the excuses. I bet that you had forgotten all about me. And Sora goes, "Are you crazy? Come on. I came all this way just looking for you." And he says,
Oh, they're just fucking with his mind at this point.
And Riku says, "But you're not anymore, right? Now it's only Naminé that you're looking for. You don't even care about me, just like you never cared at all about her feelings." Naminé's? I knew it. Never even gave it a little thought, did you? Just cause you want to see Naminé, sorry, doesn't go both ways. Tell you the truth, Nami doesn't even want to look at your face.
Ooh.
And Sora goes, "Why not? You should ask your memories why Naminé disappeared from the island."
Oh, so he knows, he just can't remember it.
And he says, "Remember that, and you know." And Sora goes, Did I do something? Is it my fault?" And he goes, "Riku." And then he, from his normal outfit, he goes into his dark form.
I thought the dark form was like Ansem controlling him.
So he was this, and then his dark form like that.
Yeah.
Yes and no. It would make sense later.
Okay. Fucking A.
He says, and Sora goes, "Go home, Sora." Or, sorry, Riku says, "Go home, Sora. I'll take care of Naminé. Anyone who goes near her goes through me." And he pulls out his sword, and they goes after him, and he like clashes with him with Sora, and they're like clashing weapons together. He goes, and Sora goes, "What's wrong? He goes, What's wrong with you? We're supposed to be friends." And he says, "Please, Sora, since when have you cared about me? Naminé's not the only one who's sick of looking at you. So am I." And then they,
I thought he was a Keyblade holder.
Who?
Riku.
He was and wasn't. He was the Keyblade holder from Sora, but he took Sora's Keyblade, and then.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Or Sora took his Keyblade, because he was the one that was supposed to get the Keyblade the first time. Yeah. But he got overcome with darkness, so the Keyblade chose Sora instead. Yeah.
Yep.
And then I think they might have fought. I know you fight him at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this is still cutscenes. Riku, stop it! And then, oh no, this is when you fight. And then after you fight, he's like running away. Obviously, you beat him. Mm-hmm. And then he goes, "Riku, please wait!" And he's like running up the stairs into the light where you can't see him no more, into the other side the next floor, basically. And then after that, you can do a world, and then you go to the next room.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, and then Sora looking around goes, Riku, where are you? And Goofy says, Sora, are you okay? Don't worry about me. And he's like, Riku, what happened? And Jimmy Cricket shows up, and he goes, sure was strange. Almost like Ansem was back, controlling Riku again. And Sora says, but we got rid of Ansem for good. Then I wonder what's wrong with Riku. Hold on. The king. If he's with Riku, he might be in danger. So.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And Jimmy Cricket pops out and he says, I know. You're just thinking about, I know. You're thinking Riku isn't your friend. But that's not true. And Sora's just still all sad, upset. He actually has like a really sad face right now.
Aw.
Yeah.
He's not having a good day.
I
He's
know.
not having a good fucking week, dude.
Not at all.
When has he slept? This is all in his head.
It's
It's
funny
just
that you say that. Just remember that you said that.
Okay.
Okay.
This is all a big fever dream.
So remember, when has he slept? Just remember
When
that.
has he slept? Yes.
Yeah. Anyway. No, it's not going to be all a dream. I'll just go and say that.
Okay. I was like, this is some bullshit. It's
If
all
it's all
a
a
fever dream.
No. But Jimmy Cricket says, well, I know he said some awful things to you back there, but you got to remember, we're all in Castle Oblivion. While the folks lose their memories here, and a little bit at a time, Riku's probably just forgotten that the two of you were such close friends, that's all. And Sora's like, so he just forgot? My guess is that's so. But Sora, instead of being so sad, we have to figure out a way to help Riku and get his memories back. And Sora says, or someone says, if we all work together, why, we're sure to get through this. No need to mope. And Goofy's like, Jiminy's right. You shouldn't push your friends away. And Sora says, yeah, okay. And I also got a notification that DoorDash delivered my food at this point.
Nice.
Screenshot of it. Anyway, they say, Sora, do you remember our very first promise? And Donna said that. He said, Sora, do you remember our very first promise? Do you remember what it was?
No.
He said they had one rule and one promise if Sora can ride with them.
To help them find the king?
No. It was always smile. He says it can't be no frowning faces on the ship. Always,
Really?
Yeah.
Was that
no
the
sad
actual-
faces? Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they said. Like no frowning faces. Like you want to be on this ship, you gotta smile.
You gotta
'Cause
stay
he was-
happy.
Yeah, because he was upset because he couldn't find Riku,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, all right, you can join us, but you can't be sad.
You gotta smile.
Yeah.
Keep it up, buddy. Smile.
So, he said that's the promise we made when we met each other for the very first time. We promised we'd never forget to keep smiling. And Sora turns around and starts smiling. And then they did a world. Boom, next floor. And Riku's like just walking towards the stairs. And Sora gets behind him and Riku says, take a hint. I told you to go home. And he says, not until I rescue you and nominate. Because I don't remember ever asking you to rescue me. Did you forget? Kaori's there, waiting for us both to get home. And Riku says, you're the one who forgot. I told you at Kingdom Hearts I told you at Kingdom Hearts when we closed the door to take care of Kaori. Give it up. I'm not going back to the islands for anything. It's not just for Kaori. What about the rest? And it says you can have them losers. Yeah, he says you can have them losers. I've already forgot them.
Oh, shit. Lay down the law.
Yeah, Sora says that's enough. What about you, Sora? Do you actually remember what they all look like? He says, and Sora goes, of course I remember. And he starts to think, and Riku goes, don't feel bad. That's what this castle does to you after a while. It's good that you forget all the useless stuff and remember what really matters. And he says, I remember it, Sora. I now know the one thing that is most important to me. Protecting Naminé. Nothing else matters. Not a thing. And then...
Just fuck Kyrie, right? Like, fuck that hoe. Nominate.
And then you see, like, Sora in the like void again, and then like it's like him as a kid, and then it's like they're looking at each other. They're not really fighting, but it's like the battle in the minds of them
Yeah.
kidding as kids, like fighting like
What
who's
it
right.
used to be.
Yeah. And as kids, they're like, "Hey, Riku, I think I'll jog your memory," and then that's when they actually do start fighting. And then once you fight Riku, you win. And then Riku's like on one knee, and he gets his sword or whatever he has to get up, wing blade. He comes up, and he goes, "Too bad, Sora. You can fight me all you want, but you still won't remember a thing." And Sora says, "Let's quit fighting. Let's go help Naminé." And he says, "Together, right? So like you." Wait, what does it say? So like you, Sora, you're always trying to warm your way into my heart. Hold on. When did I ever do that? You forget that too? You never cared. It never mattered to you. You won't push me away. And that's what Sora says. You won't push me away, I think.
Ooh.
But from there you cut to a scene with Axel talking to Naminé.
Oh.
And he says, "Does it hurt, Naminé, watching your two childhood friends fighting because of you? You have my sympathies from the heart." And he says, "But don't waste your time. We nobodies can never hope to be somebodies." That's what he says to
They're
her.
just big manipulators. That's all this is.
And he goes back to Sora and he says, "I don't get it. Riku and I, we both want the same thing. Both of us want to help Naminé out. How come we're fighting each other? I mean, Riku and I argued about stuff in the past, but could it be cause," and Goofy says, "Could it be cause y'all care about what happens to each other? I really thought so too, but maybe Riku doesn't." And Donald says, "You can't give up. You're friends. Tied together. You can't give up." Oh, yeah. That's it. Your friends tied together. Sora, Riku, and... What's her name? That's what they said. There you go.
Ooh.
You're tied together. Sora, Riku, and... What's her name? And they start thinking. And they go, It seems our memory... sorry, Jiminy Cricket pops out and he goes, It seems our memories are fading... madly... God dang. It seems our memories are fading mildly fast. Sorry.
You got this.
Yeah. Sora, we gotta hurry. I bet Riku will come around if you just talk to him. And Sora's like, "You're right. We three were never apart. Me, Riku, and Naminé." And...
So he's able to remember.
Yep. Yeah.
Such a dry answer.
Yeah. Me, Riku, and Naminé.
Yeah, just fuck Kyrie, right? You know,
Yeah,
leave her in the
apparently.
dust.
Right?
So does he know that she's still alive?
No?
Right now, he don't?
I mean, he kind of like did what he did to save her. So yeah, he knows that she's out there and he's still looking for her, but he has no idea where she's at or whatnot. He hasn't seen her in so long. But they did a Disney World, and now you're on the next floor. And they start looking around, and they're like, "Where'd Riku go?" And Donna says, "Guess he must have finally gotten tired of fighting with you." And Sora puts his hands behind his head, and he's like, "I sure hope so." Like, all confident wise. And then it goes to Axel and Larxene. And Larxene says, "So what's going on, Vexen? Your Riku was supposed to counter Sora. What's he waiting for? Where is he?" And then Vexen gets like a pissed off look on his face. And
So that's not really Riku. That's like an experiment kind of thing.
Who knows? And they say he's hiding somewhere to lure Sora deeper into the castle, right? I suppose we should just leave it at that, you know? And Larxene goes, "Oh, ha! I see now. I would have never guessed that. Oh, sorry, Vexen." And like, she's just being a bitch for no reason, like talking shit to him. And he goes, "Silence! Like, look at this fucking face. I don't know if you guys can see that, but he has the most fucking...
His jaw is just so
Yes.
dislocated.
It's horrible. And she says, predictable response. Because you saw, he said silence.
Silence.
Yeah. And she goes, forget it. Men without hearts are so boring. And Vexen says, you're the one to talk. As if you have such a heart to speak of for yourself. And then you hear, that's enough. And then all three of them turn around and look behind them. And they say, Maluxia. Another person shows up in a coat.
Malexia?
Maluxia. No, Marluxia. There we go.
Marluxia. Okay.
Yeah, Marluxia. Whew. And then he pulls off his hood. And there's a guy with long pink hair.
With the most colorful mullet.
Colorful mullet. And pink petals. Flower petals.
Ooh. Only one that's done that was the original dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which we don't know who he is yet, right?
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Maybe.
Anyway.
No, like we haven't found out who he is yet, right?
The
original one, the first dude?
Yeah. No.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go and say he's the only guy who has pink petals.
Okay. I was figuring you were saying that, but I was like...
Yeah. Just narrow it down for you.
Is it raining? No,
No.
it's the lights. Okay.
Oh. He says, Vexen, the simple fact that... That's how he talks. Vexen. The simple fact that your project was a failure. You'd best not disappoint us again. And Vexen goes, disappoint? You go too far. In this organization, you're number 11. I'm number 4. And I would not have you... And Vexen pulls out his sphere, or his... he has like a Grim Reaper. What's it called?
Scythe?
Yeah,
Scythe?
he has a Grim Reaper scythe.
Yeah.
And he pulls it out into his neck. And he says, I've been entrusted this castle and nominate... Oh, I've been entrusted to this castle and nominate by our leader. Defying me will be seen as treason against the organization. Traitors are eliminated. I believe that's what the rules say. And then he says, who needs half-baked good for nothing anyway? And Vexen, you cannot win against Sora. And that's what, this is still Maluxia and Vexen talking, because Vexen says, pity to be so ignorant. As if you're only able to see the surface of things. I should not expect you to appreciate my true might. And Maluxia says, oh, then let's watch as you prove it. That's the scythe.
Oh.
And then it disappears. When it disappears, it is the flower petals.
Huh.
He's a really cool dude, by the way.
So, are the petals a big, lore thing?
It's just his
Or is
thing.
it just his thing?
It's his thing.
Okay.
But I'm sure in Kingdom Hearts 6, it would be oh, those petals belong to this person.
It's Sully's older brother.
You know what? I joke about that, but I'm just now have a thought of where those petals might actually come from, and it could actually make sense. That was a joke at first.
What,
but
in Kingdom Hearts 4?
Yeah, or something like that.
Which is confirmed.
Yeah. Anyway, he says, Maluxia says, none of us wish to be suspicious of our comrade. Your insecurity is comforting. That's what Vexen says to Maluxia. And Axel says, you gave a challenge like that to Vexen, and he seriously want to eliminate Sora. And I don't even know what this fucking word means. I remember watching it and I was like, I still don't know what this means. But Maluxia says, that would be an unfortunate denouement. I don't know. Here, I'll let you look at this. I have no idea what that even means, or even how to say that.
Alright. That would be an unfortunate denouement? Denouement?
Exactly.
God.
It would be unfortunate.
It would be unfortunate, yes.
Yes. We didn't need that last word in there.
Right. Who you
We're not
showing
smart
off
enough
to?
for this. I'm sorry. Anyway,
I just brushed up all because.
and then he goes up to Nominee, and she's like looking sad, and he goes,
You gotta beat.
"Go, yep, just in time." But he puts his hand on her shoulder, and he says, "What to do? Your hero is soon to be wiped from existence, but I believe there is a certain promise that he made you. Isn't that right, Nominee?" And she says, "Yes." And then it just cuts from the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is after Sora did another Disney World in the Euro Next Floor.
So is everything the same from Disney World?
It's a different Disney World, but I mean, for the most part, there might be little differences here and there. But
Oh.
to be honest, what happens in Disney World is not that important. I'm sorry, guys.
It's just like reliving what happened again.
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
And they look around and they'll. Sorry, go ahead.
Are there any like hard boss fights that you remember? Or one that like, takes forever.
Ursula was a pain in the ass. Remember that? But I find that's when I figured out. I don't remember when I did Ursula, but when I was in Atlantica, that's when I figured out I can just stack fucking magic on top of each other constantly and just destroy the fuck out of her. And I was like, because I couldn't win. I was just thinking, it took me so long, like 45 minutes or something, I couldn't beat her. And then I was like, let me just try to do fire. And I was like, I'm doing a lot of fire damage. Let me just see how many fire I can get. So I got my whole card of nothing but just fire. Just fire. And I was using fire gun because I was stacking them together.
Yeah.
I destroyed that bitch in like fucking 3 minutes or something. Yeah, and after that I just started using magic on everything.
I don't blame you.
But yeah, when they're in this room, they go, "Wow, we're on the 10th floor. We must have gotten pretty high," which is, I think, pretty high up there already from like the last floor. But they say, "And that must have mean we've lost 10 whole floors, or that must have mean we've lost 10 whole floors worth of memories." Sora, and Jimmy Cricket says, "Sora, it's not too late. Don't you think we should turn back?" And Sora says, "Can't do it, because that mean I would break an old promise that I made." And he says, "Oh, promise? What would that be?" And Sora looks up, and he says, "On the islands, I promised Nominee that I would keep her safe, no matter what." God, hold on. I got a person at my front door on my ring camera, and it totally blocked what the fucking this said.
You want to go ahead and grab the food real quick?
What? Oh, no. It was on screenshot.
Oh.
It was a screenshot when I took whenever I was doing the notes and stuff. And then on this one, I got like someone at my front door. It has the little video camera.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The one after this blocks that. Okay, so good. It says, "I didn't remember anything until I started forgetting everything else." See, on this one, it wasn't expanded. It was just on top. So
Goofy's just covered up by everything.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't remember until I started forgetting everything else. I promised between the two of us. And he says, "That's why I can't leave. Now that I remember the promise, I have to keep it." And Jimmy Cricket, it just looks kind of funny. He's like he's holding on to Sora's cheek. And he goes, "Of course, we understand, Sora." And then a dark person, or dark cloak man, woman, shows up, and it's Vexen. And you know it's Vexen because you see his face and he says, "I am Vexen."
Just in case you were confused.
Yeah, he goes, "I am Vexen. I've come here to collect your debt, Sora." And he says, "A debt? Sora, do you owe this guy? Do you owe something to this guy?" That was goofy. He goes, "A debt? Do you owe something to this guy?" And he gets in his ear and starts pointing at him. Was like asking him, like, "Hey, do you need?" And it's pointing out, like, it looks like, "Hey, if you need money," like, kind of thing.
Go to him.
And then Sora goes, "Hey, come on, of course not." And Vexen goes, "Oh, but you do. You owe me for reuniting you with your former friend." And he goes, "You don't mean?" "Indeed, I do. I mean, I'm the one who brought Riku to you." And he says, "Then you're the one who's been controlling him. What have you done to him?" And he says, I see no need to give you information about where Riku is after all." And then he pulls out, he has like a shield for a weapon, and his power is like ice.
I thought his was the scythe.
Nope, that was Maluxia, the pink flower guy.
Yeah, gotcha.
So the scientist guy, he has a shield, and his power is ice.
Oh, okay.
And he says, "Why trouble you in your final hour?" And then you guys are about to fight. And he says, "As I expected, you weren't willing to die so easily." And Sora says, "As if I would ever lose to you." And he says, "I wouldn't be so sure. Did you even notice? I was delving deep into your memory as we fought." Because this is like after you fought him. And he says, "And here, look what I found." And he pulls out a card. And it's a card. Every card you get, in order to go to a new world, like you have a Tarzan. Sorry.
You don't have a Tarzan.
Yeah, Alice in Wonderland. It has Alice in Wonderland on the picture. It's
Yeah.
like that one we saw. But then he saw a picture of this. And that is not actually a world you've seen before. But he says he got it from Sora's memories. So maybe it's a world he forgot. Who knows? But he says, a card crafted from all your memories that were locked on the other side of your heart. And Sora, or he throws it at Sora, and Sora catches it. He says, memories on the other side? And he looks all confused. And then it shows Sora, not Sora. It shows Axel, Larxene, and Maldosia going around this little crystal thing. That's how they're watching him, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So, there. And Axel puts his hand on his hip. He goes, "If Sora disappears, that would mess up the organization's plans. I trust that you know what you need to do." Oh, wait, no. Maldosia says that to Axel. He goes, I trust that you know what you need to do. And Axel says, "I haven't really got a clue, really. Maybe you could spell it out for me." And Maldosia says, "Vexen has clearly committed a treasonous act against the organization. You must eliminate the traitor." And Axel says, no taking that back later." So, they just confirmed that, like, Maldosia gave the order to Axel to eliminate Vexen.
Who's the traitor?
Vexen. Because they need Sora, but Vexen's actually trying to kill Sora now.
Oh, shit.
So, and then go back to Sora, and he says, "A card made from out of memories from the other side of your heart. I wonder what it does." And that's like a closer look of the place right there.
Oh, weird.
He's like, "We'll find out soon enough. It's not. It's the only one we have left. Or it's the only way we have left. There's no other way to move other than forward." And he started looking through the world, and as they're going through the world, it's like a grass area, and he go into like kind of like a mansion. And Goofy says, "What's wrong?" And Sora says, "Something feels strange. I'm sure I don't know what this place is, but it's starting to feel like it's familiar to me." And he says, "You must have come here sometime before." And he said, "It could have been like with Nominee. You forgot lots of other stuff, and that's why you remember this place now." And Sora says, "No, I think it's different." Or he says, "No, it's different. With Nominee, my memories sort of came drifting back to me a little piece at a time. But now, it's not just the memories, just the idea that I must have been here before." And then he hears Vexen's voice, and Vexen says, "So, feeling nostalgic?" And they all like getting ready to go down, fight, whatnot. He says, "Your memories of Nominee, or your feelings here. Which of the two of these memories are more real, I wonder?"
Oh, shit.
And Sora says, "Nominee, of course." He says, "Whatever it takes whatever it is that I'm feeling, I bet it's just another one of your mean little tricks. The memory's wiles can be cruel." I don't even know what that means, wiles. Memory wiles can be cruel. He says, "In the silence we forget. It's the obsession. It blinds our hearts." And he says, and Sora says, "Cut the riddles."
Cut the shit.
Yeah. And Vexen says, "I told you. This place was solely created from the other side of your memory. It is the other side of your heart that the memory of this place exists. It is in your heart that remembers." And Sora says, "You're wrong. I don't know this place. It says, if you remain by the chain of memory, or I should probably not slow down.
Ooh.
Yeah, I should go slow down. I was quick going through that a bit too fast. He says, if you remain bound by the chain of memories and refuse to believe what is truly found inside of your heart, then throw it away. You are not the Keyblade Master. You are just a slave to twisted memories. And he says, yes, exactly like my Riku. Your existence is worth nothing. And Sora says, like your Riku? Worth nothing? He says, that's enough. You're the one that changed Riku. And he says, every word you said is a lie. I'd never throw away my heart. I'm going to take you down and save Riku and Naminé. That's what's in my heart. And then you guys fight.
Mm-hmm. Die a few times, and then die a few times.
Yeah.
And then beat him.
And then after you fight, Vexen is on the ground on his hands and knees, out of breath. He goes, you have so much strength. Sorry, my back is killing me. He says, you have so much strength. Or you have so much strength, even at the mercy of your memory. He says, none of that matters. Just put Riku back. And he says, just put him back. The Riku that you speak of has but just one fate, to sink into the darkness. You will share his fate, Sora, if you continue to seek this girl, Naminé. The shackles will tighten, and you will lose your heart, and you will end up becoming Maluxia's pawn. And he said, and Sora says, Maluxia? What does Naminé have to do with? And then it stops, and you see like a fire thing coming right at a Vexen, and he like blocks it, and they say, Axel. He's like, he goes, yo, Sora, did I catch you at a bad time? And he goes, Axel, why? Or that's what Vexen says. Or Vexen says, Axel, why? And Axel says, I came to stop you from talking too much by eliminating your existence.
Oh shit.
And then at this point, you see Vexen say, no, don't do it, please. And he's like kind of begging Axel like to stop. And Axel says, we are nobodies. Who are you? Or we are nobodies who have no one to be, yet we still are. God, these fucking riddles, man.
God.
But now you can be nothing instead of just being a nobody.
Oh shit.
He says, you're off the hook. And when he says that, it's Vexen again. He's like begging now, please. Like he says, no, please don't. He says, I don't want to. It's like, it's not my time, please, no. And then he says, Raxel says, goodbye. And then it's hard to tell right now, but that fire that hit him a minute ago, It went to his heart. And it's pretty fucking brutal. What he does is that fire thing went to his heart, and then when he says goodbye, Axel snaps his finger, and it explodes his heart from the inside, and it expands out, and just crumbles in a ball of fire. And then Sora's and everyone's just like, the fuck?
Shit just got rated R.
Yeah, like it's actually a brutal death for like being a Disney game, exploding someone's heart from the inside with a fire. Like, okay. And Sora turns around and he goes, what are you people? It's just witnessing murder. And Axel just don't know. I wonder about that myself. And he just
join the club.
Yeah, and then he just teleports away. So like he actually just like straight up just murdered somebody and
made a joke and left.
Yeah, as he was like begging for his life. I will show you the video later. It's pretty like it is a bit more brutal than the way I feel like I'm just talking about it. But yeah, he's begging for his life and they explode his heart. And Axel teleports to back where Maluxia and Larxene is. And Larxene says, nice work. I say good riddance to that blabbermouth. And he says Maluxia used to be you said Vexen to test out Sora's strength, didn't you? He says, not just Sora's, it was yours too. And Larxene says, we weren't sure if you actually had it in your bones to take out a fellow member. Well, I guess that you did. it's time to join up. Taking over the organization will be like a child's play with all three of us. He wants to see Naminé, so why don't we just give him what he wants? And then Maluxia looks at Naminé and says, "Rejoice, Naminé. The time is near for you to meet the hero that you've been longing for." And Naminé looks kind of sad, but also kind of glad at the same time. And she goes, she looks sad and a little bit happier. And she goes, "I'm glad." So, I said kind of sad and kind of glad, but she literally says, "I'm glad." But then Loxine gets in her face, like sideways. She goes,
"Can't have this fucking scene without her."
Yeah, and she goes, "But I'm warning you, you better not do anything to betray Sora's feelings. You understand me, little one?"
Oh, so now she's protecting Sora's feelings?
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
And she looks down, and she goes, "I understand." And Maluxia says, All you need to do is layer Sora's memories and bring his heart closer to you. And then he teleports. Loxine teleports away, and then it's just Axel there with Naminé. And Naminé has a picture of just Sora in her notebook, and she's like, hold on to her tight, and she says, "Even if you come for me, what then?" And she just like holds it closer to her, and then it cuts to a scene of you seeing Dark Riku again. And so it's like, "Riku!" And Riku says, "You'll hurt Naminé if you go further." And Sora says, "If you still want to fight, or you still want to fight, but Vexen's gone, so now you're free." And he says, "It doesn't matter what happens to him. I'm protecting Naminé from you. That's what's in my heart. Sora, I made a promise to Naminé. I promised to keep her safe." What the fuck? Sorry, I just had a random mass picture in there for no reason. And Sora says, "You did?" And he says, fucking Riku says, "There was a meteor shower this one night when she and I were little. Naminé got scared, and I said, what if a shooting star hits the island?" Or Naminé got scared, and she said, "What if a shooting star hits the island?" And he's like, "So I told her, if a shooting star comes this way, I'll protect you. You made a promise with her," and he's like, "You made a promise with a toy sword? Wait, how do you know that?" Because that's what Riku was telling Sora, and Sora's like, "Wait, how'd you know that promise was with a toy sword?" And he says, "Because that was the promise I made to her that night. I told her I would protect her. I said that." And Riku's like, "Don't lie. You weren't even there that night." And he says, "Yeah, you wasn't even there. That was me. I was the one she gave her good luck charm to me." And he's like, "Her what?" And Sora pulls out that good luck charm that Naminé gave him. And Riku goes, "Tell me, where did you get that?" And then as soon as he did that, a light hits his forehead, like, and he just kind of like, and he just shakes his head, and he goes, "Sora, good try." And then he goes in his back pocket, and he goes, "That must be a fake, because I got the real one right here." And he pulls out, and he pulls out one too. Oh man, no, Kingdom Hearts 2 is way more confusing. So so he's like, "What? 2 of them?" And Riku says, "Fakes should be destroyed." And then they fight. And after they fight, Riku's out of breath, and he starts running away back up the stairs.
Bitch.
Yeah. And then Sora's like, puts his hand out, but he kind of gets away anyway. He dropped the little good luck charm. So he goes, "Isn't that Naminé's good luck charm? It's just like mine." And he pulls out his, and he goes, "How'd he get this?" And it lights up, like 4 of light, like blinds him. And he goes, "Whoa!" And it turns into a card of Destiny Island.
Oh, wow.
So he goes, "It turned into a card." Or Goofy said that. "It turned into a card." And he goes, "Oh, I don't understand what's going on." That's what Donald says.
Me too, buddy.
And Sora says, let's just keep moving, okay? It doesn't matter. And Donald goes, it does matter. How come two of you can have the same memory? He says, you both can't be right. And Sora says, I'm wrong. Fine. Then don't believe me. And Goofy's like, that's not what we meant. We're just kind of worried. And he says, and Sora says, then let's ask Nominee. That should clear it up. And look, we don't have time to just sit around. So let's go. And then he runs, and Goofy goes, Sora, what happened to you? And then he stops again, and he goes, what's that mean? He says, well, you've come real touchy when it comes to stuff about Nominee. Before we came to this castle, you didn't remember what her name was. Now Nominee's the only thing you talk about. And he says, it doesn't make sense. Maybe you should just slow down and start thinking ahead about some of these things. And Sora goes, think ahead? What's the matter with you guys? Do you want me to abandon her? And Donald's like, no, that's not it. And Sora says, then do whatever you want. You can lay back and stay here and take a nap for all I care. I'm going to go find Nominee. And he runs off up the stairs. And Donald and Goofy just look to each other like,
Fuck's up with him?
Yeah.
Alright, how much time we at so far?
We got an hour and 50.
You want to go ahead and cut it here for a minute?
Yeah, maybe. Hold on. Oh, no. Okay, good. Yeah, we still got a good minute. Well, not that long, but long enough.
What time is it?
12? Yeah, but I mean, either way, we can cut it.
Alright.
It's 12:21.
Yeah. I think that's good.
Okay, I gotta figure out where I'm at right now. So at this point, we're at, hold on. He goes, that's not it. It's like, okay, this is when Sora gets mad and he runs off.
Mm-hmm.
And Donald and Goofy are just kind of looking at each other like, what's up with this fucking dude?
Right.
And then it cuts off to Axel going to talk to Nominee. So that's where we're going to cut it at.
Yep.
Okay. So maybe 3 parts in? Or 4? We'll figure it out. But, yeah. What do you think so far? It's a lot of confusing shit.
It's not too bad. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. But
It'll make more sense at the end.
I hope so. I mean, the first game did, so I hope this one does too.
The first game is the one that makes the most sense. Kingdom Hearts 2 is going to be pretty easy to understand all the way through until you get directly in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything you thought of is just going to be like, wait, what? Like,
wait, damn it, hold on.
Everything's going to be different from what you actually think it is, type of thing. And then it's really confusing, but yeah. But it also makes sense. So.
I hope so.
And this will actually make sense while like all this is happening. So, but that is, as of right now, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Next time we do a Gamecast, do you want to do this and finish this, or you want to?
Oh, we'll finish this one probably, yeah.
Okay. So we'll finish Chain of Memories, and then we'll start on Resident Evil, right?
Yeah.
2? Okay, yeah. Start Resident Evil 2. And, well, anyway, guys, that is an hour and 50-something minutes now. I don't know about editing. It could be shorter. But anyway, the music's playing already in the background.
Yep.
So I hope you enjoy that music. But until then, next time, guys, this has been Famous for Nothing Podcast, Gamecast Edition. And thank you for listening. Come back next time to figure out what happens with Sora, Riku, and Nominee.
And Goofy, and Donald.
And you know, to see Brutal Mutter. Who knows?
Right?
Anyway, till next time, guys. I can't talk no more. Good thing we're going. Bye!